Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Splitsin91. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, commentaries, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. And this is for Casper Meets Wendy. Now, Jesus Christ, my nose literally started itching as soon as I turn this fucking thing on. It's like the fucking nose knows that I'm allergic to this fucking direct-to-video sequel bullshit. Direct-to-video sequels are so much a dime a dozen. There are very few, I think, that are decent or good. Tremors 2 Aftershocks, I think, is a damn good movie. I love the first Tremors. Tremors 2 Aftershocks, I think, is actually really rather underrated. Lost Boys 3 The Thirst, I actually think it's a pretty damn decent sequel. It's better than the second one. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Corey Feldman returns in a bigger role than he did in the second film. Lost Boys 3, Lost Boys The Thirst, is actually a fun movie. And there are other examples. Undisputed 2, Undisputed 3, Undisputed 4, they're better than the first Undisputed. And there are other examples, but I mean, there's so much more of bad ones. The Home Alone direct-to-video sequels, the Hellraiser direct-to-video sequels, the stuff like the Casper films. I like the first Casper from 1995. But then you had A Spirited Beginning, you had this film, you have Casper's Haunted Christmas. Of the three, I guess I would say this is the best of the three, and here's why. It's still a bad film. It's lame jokes, cheap effects. It looks like it was made for ABC Family, made for TV. Maybe it was. Wendy was another comic character back in the day with Casper and Richie Rich. It's live action mixed in with really... I've said it before. If you don't have the budget to make Casper and the Ghost look good, don't do the movie. Because you have a character that requires a lot of work, a lot of material, a lot of stuff to happen, and you have this bullshit going on. I mean, this is the type of shit you have. If I can remember... these are the award-winning effects that make, T2 cry. Let me see if I did it right. I mean, this is pathetic. Let's see if I could do this. Like, this is what you get. Or this. You see what I mean? You see what I mean by the cheap ass effects? What are you talking about? That's Terminator 2 style, man. This is Terminator Judgment Day style. I mean, that's I get it's direct-to-video film. You don't have all the money in the world. You want to be more ambitious than what you have. But at the same time, it's like, is it really needed? And plus, I mean, this is the same guy who directed this did Three Ninjas, High Noon, and Mega Mountain. Was it Sean McNamara? We get the director of the guy that made the Three Ninjas movie with Hulk Hogan and Jim Varney. How fucking good can it be? It starts at a baseball game where the ghostly trio scare the players and the crowd, and they look like a spaceship at first, and they're doing like the close encounters. Some random girl says they're back. Why? Why did she say they're back? This is before they even know. Oh, because Heather O'Rourke said it in Poltergeist 2. But they don't even think it's ghosts. They think it's a fucking alien. So when the little girls say something akin to an alien movie, not their back, which is akin to a Fatso farts on the scoreboard and makes it explode. He eats a bunch of hot dogs, but then he bombs away, and the hot dogs are actually in the buns. So it's nice that somehow he ate them and actually then put the hot dogs in the buns when they drop. That was very courteous of him. Drops out of his stomach. It's not like mushed up, eaten up. Just plain old, hot dog in the bun. And it is a bad movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a bad movie. The only reason I said it's better than... Not good. It's better than Casper's Spirited Beginning and Casper's Haunted Christmas. Is because at least superficially you go, wow, there's a lot of familiar people in this. Spot the familiar person. Hilary Duff is Wendy, who's the little girl, dresses in red, 3 aunts are witches, and Wendy's going to be the greatest witch ever. Hilary Duff, before Lizzie McGuire, all that stuff, she was like, what, 10 years old? So a very young Hilary Duff. Her aunts, Cathy Moriarty, which is funny because she was in the first Casper as a different character, which then makes it weird if these films connect. I guess they don't. But, like, Cathy Moriarty played a different character. She played the bad guy in the first 1995 film. She's back here as one of the witches. I like Cathy Moriarty. It's cool to see her. But I'm like, wait a minute, what? Shelley Duvall from The Shining, Popeye, and Terry Garr from Young Frankenstein. Those are the 3 aunts who are the witches. The bad guy is George Harrison. No, George Hamilton, sorry. George Harrison is the Beatles. George Hamilton, he's a warlock that wants to get rid of Wendy the Witch, because Wendy's going to be the most powerful, and George Hamilton doesn't like that. George Hamilton is told by a figure in the mirror called the Oracle, and it's Pauly Shore. I guess Pauly Shore, hey, he did the voice in A Spirited Beginning as Snivel. He was referenced in Haunted Christmas in dialogue. Now he's back here as a different character. And I liked Pauly Shore back in the day. I liked In the Army Now. I liked Son-in-Law. I liked Encino Man. But man, stuff like this, he's annoying as hell. I mean, just try to do these... There's a point where he fucking raps. Pauly Shore raps. Jesus Christ. But again, it's that superficial, oh wow, that's who that is, and that's who that is, and George Hamilton has 2 minions, Richard Mole from Night Court, and Vincent Schiavelli. He was the guy in Ghost. The ghost of the subway that would train Patrick Swayze how to use the powers. That's Vincent Schiavelli. Casper Van Dien has a cameo. I don't know why the fuck he's in this. He has from Starship Troopers. He's in one scene where the 3 ants are ready to smother him and he leaves. I'm like, okay, that was random. Alan Thicke from Growing Pains TV show, he's here at the very beginning as a baseball announcer, and he never comes back. Somehow, like, they got all of these recognizable... No, they're not A-star actors and movie stars, but it's like, wow, like, it's like a who's who of recognizable people if, like me, you grew up in this era. Like, hey, Richard Mole from Night Court. Oh, hey, there's Alan Thicke. Just strange. Hilary Duff, he has a very, very high voice. Very high-pitched voice. To the point that it almost just like... But hello, my name is Wendy and I'm a witch. And are you a ghost? There's one moment I did kind of chuckle at. And it's a lame joke, but it was the way Richard Mole said it. Where George Hamilton is telling them where Wendy's at. and says, bring me this brat, she's living with her aunts. And then Richard Mole just says, must be an ant farm. The way Richard Mole said that, like, just casually and nondescript, must be an ant farm. That got a genuine chuckle out of me. Richard Mole and Vincent Schiavelli, just seeing those two work with each other, at least was something I can enjoy. There's nothing I can enjoy in Haunted Christmas. That was something I can enjoy, is those two guys. And a whole lot of nothing happens. Kind of, the aunts and Wendy need a place to stay, so they stay at this hotel. It's the same hotel that the ghosts are in, trying to vacation as well. And, you have weird scenes, like the aunts, the witches want to get a room, but this lady took it. So Cathy Moriarty turns the lady into a goat in a public lobby, and no one sees it, no one notices, no one flickers an eyelash. Just, oh well, I turned a bitch into a goat in front of everybody, and no one bats an eye. In fact, as the woman, the goat, walks up and gives her fucking tea card back and talks, and the guy's like, okay. What? Wendy, Hilary Duff, I will say she got a bit annoying. With a very high-pitched voice, like... But Wendy and Casper meet in a barn, they become friends. Ghosts were afraid of witches, witches are afraid of ghosts, but they become friends. Montages them hanging out. There's a point Wendy shoots an arrow, moves the arrow, and like the arrow almost kills like 18 people, but she's laughing. You see the POV of the arrow, be like, ugh, because she's trying to get it to the bullseye. But still, it's like so many people. I'm like, wow, I just almost killed 18 people. I'm like, great. Hilary Duff, the serial killer. And like she's skiing on her broom while Casper rides on a fucking motorcycle. You have this other little kid who's also like 10 years old, but he acts like... He like goes up to Wendy's like, you go to the dance with me and that's final. This is like something that would be in a teenage movie or college movie where you have the jock or the buff guy going, no, you come with me and that's final. But this is a 10-year-old kid doing this. You go to dance with me, that's final. What, are you gonna rape her? You're 10 years old. This is what it seems like. I thought that was just weird. And for a good chunk of it, the bad guys don't know where they're at until there's a whole scene with the ghosts, the trio. They possess these three guys, and they see the three aunts, and they start dancing with each other. And this scene goes on for like 15 minutes, it feels, where the ghosts are in the guys, and the guys are acting all weird. I will say, the guys acting, they hired people that you could see would be the physical representation of these ghosts if they were human. So it wasn't a too bad casting job. But this dance party felt like it went on forever. Until ultimately they realize it's ghosts and they try to fight each other. Wendy kind of freezes the ghostly trio, makes them in plaster or something. Wendy's pissed at Casper because Casper told something he wasn't supposed to because he's a fucking chode. The bad guys arrive. Casper gets Wendy her wand back. George Hamilton creates that portal. I will save you, Wendy. And then the witches and the ghosts work together, save them both. Then George Hamilton gets defeated. Witches, ghosts part their ways, and end a movie. So again, it's just these direct-to-video movies that don't have the budget to have efficient, decent special effects. A lot of lame humor. Again, like from the beginning, why would the girl say they're back to try to do again a reference to Poltergeist 2? I mean, thanks for the reference, because I don't mind Poltergeist 2, but that's kind of a random reference. And again, when they're looking at a spaceship, they don't know that they're ghosts yet. Like, if they saw a ghost, like, and then the girl's like, oh, they're back. It'd still be a lame joke, but at least it would make a bit more sense. And, yeah, in the first 5 minutes, you get a fart joke. Fatso fart on the scoreboard. Again, just Hilary Duff, very shrill, high-pitched voice they gave to the character. I'm guessing the reason they have that big dance scene with them possessing the guys, because it would save a lot on budget. Because then you just have the people, the actors acting like Stinky, acting like Fatso. I'm like, okay. But it wasn't funny. It wasn't really that entertaining. And the only semblance of entertainment was a lot of familiar faces. And it's kind of, oh, it was cool to see that, and that. That's like the only thing that it had going. And, I mean, what does that really amount to? A curiosity piece for people who are into this stuff? Maybe a diehard fan of Wendy from the comics? All that remember the witch comic? People want to see Shelley Duvall and Cathy Moriarty and Terry Dar. Which is interesting to see them work together, but the script does them no favors. Because the script really isn't witty or funny at all. Again, the one bit of chuckle I got was Richard Mall, that one line reading. So I don't really know what else to say. The song sucked. It does feel like a crappy made-for-TV movie. If this was again on ABC Family or that kind of format, I would not be surprised. It would fit. It would fit. And maybe if you have like 8, 10-year-old kids and they desperately want Casper material, and they must have been somewhat successful because they kept making them. They made 3 of them. Spirited Beginning, this one, and Haunted Christmas. So there must have been some type of successful venture. But again, a part of me is like, just make cartoons. Just make an animated movie. And have the voices of these guys and gals. Just make an animated film if that's the case. You can do an animated film and have Wendy look like the character from the comic, Casper like the character from the comic. You could do in that old animation style, but with, at the time, that technology. And I don't know what the budget would be compared to this. I don't. Or why would you hire the guy that did 3 Ninjas? When the fuck did 3 Ninjas High Noon Mega Mountain come out? Was it around the same time? Maybe it was around the same time. I don't know. But this guy is not much of a director in terms of setting up shots or getting the best performances out of his actors. Like Hilary Duff. Yeah, could you calm down on that voice a little bit? Not be as high-pitched. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.